at the league standings and the pairwise, how important is this weekend series?
It's vital. Obviously, coming off an open weekend and back into the action with 6 games left, it's vital. Obviously, one of our goals is home ice, and that's a key thing. And we have to go into Western Michigan with a mentality of winning some hockey games here. But again, this time of year, every game is so important, and it starts with Friday night. So again, can't say it enough as far as the urgency or the importance of this weekend, albeit on the road.
How do you guys start out with the pace that you ended off on after a week off there?
Well, you know what? Obviously, you always come off an open week and you don't have that game situation of the weekend. So sharpness is going to be a key, and you try to emulate that, or try to have drills in practice where it emulates 5-on-5 or power play penalty kill where you have that sharpness. So throughout the week you try to get to things where there's high compete and high battle, and try to emulate what goes on a weekend. So again, we built our week going forward here, and again, we've had a couple of sharp practices on Monday and Tuesday, and we look forward to that today again. So I think it's the mindset. It has, this time of the year, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as the playoffs, and you have to make sure that you're sharp and ready for stepping on the ice and playing that way.
You just told us last week that the goal of last week was to rest up, but to also not lose that focus. Kind of what you were saying there. Do you guys feel like that you did maintain that focus throughout the week and into this week's practice?
Yeah, what we did, and I think last week had a chance to work on some of the things that we needed to, at our own pace, not knowing that there were no games on that weekend, and we did that. We did a few different things within that, and this week, our practices were a little bit shorter than usual. We went to 55 minutes of pace, and I thought the sharpness was good. So it's almost like that playoff mentality that you have to get to practice, that you have to make sure you go hard and for a short period of time, and that's what we did the last 2 days.
What are your thoughts on playing in Lawson Lunatics and all the kind of stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a great college environment. Obviously we went the last couple of years, they were battles, they were wars in that building, and you'll see the same thing again this year. They have a great college fan base, as we do, and it's loud. It's a small rink, and it's things happen pretty quickly in that rink. So again, we'll have to be ready to go right away, and again, it should make up for a great weekend with 2 teams that are fighting for home ice.
How do you guys kind of combat their style of play? Last week you really talked about how physical they play. How do you guys kind of combat that to maybe make them play like how you guys want to?
Well, I think taking care of the puck possession is going to be a very important factor in the series, as far as making sure that we do the right things with the puck, as far as entering their zone or making plays to recover pucks. When they have the puck, they can transition pucks, and that's the biggest change in their game, is that they play with a lot more pace this year and execution than they did over the course of the last couple of years. And I thought for the most part on Friday night when we played them here just before Christmas, I thought we did a pretty good job. And then on Saturday, I think they took it up a notch, and they entered with speed, and they executed a little bit better on Saturday. So again, we're going to have that focus of making sure that taking care of pucks, and when we don't have the puck, we got to make sure we have a mindset of getting it back.
Talk about everybody getting healthy. Can we get kind of an injury update on just Tyson, Joel, everybody like that?
Yeah, you know what? Again, we're going through the week here, and the open weekend helped us to recover to a point where we'll have some available bodies. I can tell you one thing: Tyson Jost will be in the lineup this weekend. So, like I said, for the rest of the guys here, we're going through the week, and we'll see where we're at after Wednesday here.
How do you think Cam looked coming back and felt last weekend?
Yeah, good. No, you know what? He very good. He came in the Saturday game and he was sharp. He had to make a couple of saves and late in the game, and his reaction to being off I thought was very good. He went through the open week here and skated every day. And he's to the point where he's healthy now, and obviously he's very confident in what he does. And he was a big part of that win on Saturday, going in there and getting us a split there. So looking forward here, the biggest thing for him is maintaining his conditioning and maintaining his health from day to day and week to week, to make sure that he is healthy through the rest of the year, and he is.
You At the beginning of the year, you talked about your leadership group and all those guys. How much are you relying on them right now as you kind of get to this latter part of the stages? And what are the things that they're doing?
Well, you know what? That's a good point. You know, this is a time of year where, you know, the leadership in the locker room takes over. And you know, again, going last year through what we did, winning a championship, it was huge in the fact that our leaders led the right way. And you know, it's you know, the things you do on the ice, the things you do off the ice, and prepare yourself and give yourself a chance. And I feel that we have that this year again. So you know, this is a time of year where you know, like I said, leadership takes over. And again, we have very good leadership.
Looking at Cam's numbers, he's All-American last year, and I interviewed him last week, and it seems like he might even be playing better than he was last year, but his numbers really don't kind of reflect that.
Yeah, you know what, I think the biggest thing that, you know, we see from Cam is I think it's consistency and you know, over his body of work from last year to this year, I don't think it's deviated a whole lot. You know, obviously his numbers aren't as good as they were last year, but you know, I think his play has been pretty consistent, and you know, that's what you want from a goaltender. And again, you saw it on Saturday night when a guy comes in, and then when the game's on the line in the third period, you have to have a save or two. That's what he does, and that's what he's been doing. And again, you know, like I think during the year at certain times he might not have the goal support that he needs, and sometimes you know, there's been goals that have been kind of freakishly unlucky on the other side of it too. So his body of work has been good through the whole year. It's been consistent, and again, that's what you need.
Looking at video, it looks like he's faced a lot more grade A opportunities this year than last year.
You know, I would agree early on. I would agree early on in the season when we gave up a lot of outnumbers or a lot of grade A's. I think you're spot on. But I think later in the first half and in the second half, I think we've cut down the outnumbers or the grade A's in front of him. He still gets a few of them every game, but not nearly what he had early in the season. And I think that's a tribute to a team that's grown and played better away from the puck. Thanks. Yeah.